There is debate statewide whether to expand marijuana sales in the booming industry. Some are now calling for permits to sell cannabis at live events.
Taproot Brands, 6 dispensaries throughout northern Nevada, cultivation facility that's down here in Las Vegas. I think my girlfriend and I used to co-run a Burning Man camp. That community has inspired what we've done for events around the Las Vegas area.
Shane Terry and his girlfriend Dana Kay are passionate about live events and wellness. Dana practices sound therapy and holds classes downtown. They're eager to bring cannabis into spaces where there's already demand. A proposal would create permits for cannabis sales at events.
We want to be able to see cannabis be accessible to people when they want it and where they want it. Cannabis is so deeply rooted in music and culture and arts.
The mobile cannabis concierge, if you will allow us to bring a solution to events where people are also illicitly consuming.
Senator C.H. Miller of Las Vegas is behind the bill and says social equity applicants would benefit the most. The state's been working to help minorities and people of color enter the industry, but they still face financial hurdles to start a small business.
Attainable and equitable opportunity for the folks most affected by poor drug policies.
Our clients, Planet 13 Holdings and Hardin Premium Cannabis Dispensary, current licensed operations, which are already under significant financial pressure from declining sales and illegal market competition.
2 major dispensaries in the valley are opposed. So is Metro Police, concerned about DUIs.
In the bill, there is no prohibition for any event to allow consumption of both marijuana and alcohol. There have been 0 lounges opened. To allow cannabis consumption at temporary events without knowing the successes and pitfalls would be irresponsible.
The bill would allow the Cannabis Compliance Board to choose events for sales. At festivals like Burning Man, people camp for days.
Dispensaries will have an opportunity to either sponsor or provide shuttle services back and forth.
A similar bill did not pass the legislature 2 years ago. This bill mandates events have to have designated spaces for use, making sure smell and smoke stays in a certain place.